Hey guys, it's Lauren, and today I'm doing a video talking to you about Beauty Guru's favorite products. And I tested them out to kind of create this look, so stay tuned if you want to figure out how to recreate this and my views on the products. I've seen this video kind of like testing Beauty Guru's favorite products go around everywhere. I don't know who exactly started it, so if you guys do, let me know down below because I definitely want to give them credit. If you guys enjoy a tutorial type video, give this video a thumbs up so that I can know to do more in the future, or just comment down below giving me future video ideas that you want to see. If you aren't already subscribed, be sure to do that because I have a ton of fun content coming up and I'm super excited to share it with you guys. And if you don't want to miss out on the post, click that notification bell to be notified whenever I do post these videos. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and let's get into it. So here I am, all nice and natural for you guys, so we're going to get into it. So the first product is one from Dr. Brandt. It's the Dr. Brandt Pores No More Luminizing Primer. This is a product that Manny MUA talks about all the time, and I've actually used this before and I really like it. It's interesting because I've heard a couple YouTubers talk about it and like not like it, but I really enjoy it. It is like a little tacky to the skin, but I like that because it'll help my foundation to like cling on better because I do have dry skin and it kind of makes it want to like go off a little bit. But I think this works really well and I think it's nice for like a smooth application of your foundation. It does have a slight lavender scent, but I really like that. So then the next product is one recommended by, I think it was Nikki Tutorials. This is the Lancome Tinty Dull Ultra Wear Foundation. I have tried this product out before as well, and you guys, I really like it. It's not my all-time favorite foundation, but it's definitely up there. I just apply this one with my hand because it's not that full coverage, I would say. I feel like it's kind of one of those that is kind of more medium to lighter, I think. Now for some people this may be considered full coverage. I just don't know if I would consider it full coverage. So I like the way that this is applying. It looked a little light when I was initially first applying it, but I think this works pretty well with my skin tone. And you know, I love bronzing, so this gives me a little more bronzer to use. The next product is one from Trish McEvoy. And I've never used this before, but I've heard kind of mixed reviews. This was recommended by Wayne Goss, and it's the Trish McEvoy Eye Base Essentials Primers. That's what it looks like. I've heard that it can be a little drying to the eye, but he really likes it, so I definitely want to give it a shot. He's very smart and knows a lot about makeup, so I'm like, okay, we gotta try it. I don't really find this that hard to blend in, honestly. I'm kind of liking it. So now the eyes are all primed, we have foundation on the face, and now we are ready for concealer. This concealer is one of my all-time favorites, and you probably heard so many different YouTubers talk about it. It is the Tarte Shape Tape. I literally love this stuff. It is like one of the only concealers I use now just because it does everything I need it to do. This could be recommended by basically anyone, but I wrote down Laura Lee and Manny MUA, those type of people, but I know so many more people talk about it. Those are just some of them. And that goes for a lot of these products. A lot of them are recommended by multiple people. These are just the people that I associate them the most with. So I'm actually just going to use a beauty blender, which, you know, a lot of YouTubers talk about. I don't really have anyone specific down, but I'm going to put it on some of my blemishes, but just a little because a little bit of this concealer goes a really long way. So like I said, this is one of my all-time favorite concealers. You can really use it for so many different things. So now I'm just going to put just a little on some of my darker spots or blemishes, just kind of like that. There's really no rhyme or reason to the way I'm doing it. I'm just kind of putting it where I think I need it. And then I'm just going to blend that out. One thing with this concealer I will say is you definitely have to be sure to work fast because it does dry super quickly. So I would honestly recommend doing one blemish and then blending and then, you know, another one and then blending because honestly, it's not one of those concealers that's just going to let you kind of take your time, you know, have a glass of tea. You have to actually do it and get in there and blend. So as you can probably see with that concealer, it really helped to get rid of some of the discoloration in my face left over from the foundation that it didn't quite get. But I don't expect a lot of my foundations to just cover up everything. I normally do leave it a lot to the Shape Tape, so it did its job and I really like it. I recommend it to like a ton of people. It just works so well. But now we are going to do a little bit of baking and setting. So I am using a recommendation from, I mean, basically any YouTuber. The one I have down is Tati. I just love her. But this is the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder, and here's what it looks like. I actually have the smaller size just because I use so many different powders, and like if I got full sizes of all of them, I would never end up using all of one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to bake the under eye and let that kind of sit. I don't know what I'm going to do while we do that, but... So I'm just taking a Real Technique sponge. A lot of people talk about this, but I don't have anyone specific down. Honestly, I like this one just as much as the Beauty Blender, if not better. But for the under eye, I really like this because it's kind of, it has that little like wedge where it works really well. Just put right there. I don't have like a really precise technique when I bake the under eye. I just kind of put it under there. I don't know if that's smart. I'm not a professional. Like, I'm just a normal like person who does their makeup and loves it. So this may not be all of the like professional techniques, but this is what I found really does work for me, which is why I really like these videos, because you're getting to learn about products that beauty gurus love, getting to hear like my opinion on them, and you're getting kind of a tutorial within it all. So I really like these type of videos, and if you do too, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and let me know down below what products you want me to try in future tutorials. So I've let this bake sit for a little bit, and now I'm just going to kind of tap it in lighter to the skin and use the remainders on some of like my blemishes that I put concealer over to kind of make sure that that concealer doesn't budge either. I'm actually using a Real Techniques brush as well right now. This is the setting brush. They don't have numbers, like it's just Real Techniques, like they just kind of tell you what it is. I really like their brushes though. I think they're affordable. I think they work well. I would honestly compare them to like Sephora's, like their pro brushes, because I think they're just that good and for like half the price. So like I said, I'm just taking the excess so that we're not using too much of the powder, because when you bake, you have to use a lot of powder, but a lot of times you do have some remainders on your brush. So I'm just taking that on the spots that I put concealer on to make sure that does not go anywhere. So now we have done the powder, and now we're going to use a bronzer from Becca. It is the Becca Sunlit Bronzer, and I'm using the shade Bali Sands. But I got this recommendation from Andrea Montiliano. I think she uses the shade darker than me, but I mean, I just decided to go a shade down because I thought the other one would be just a little too intense on my skin, even though you know I love a good bronze. So now I'm going to be taking this bronzer, and I'm just going to be putting it kind of where I would do like on my cheeks right here, kind of on the lower cheekbone to kind of give that a little bit of a depth. Here's what the shade looks like. I don't think I showed you guys that. It's got kind of an orangey undertone, so I wouldn't necessarily contour this bronzer. And it does have a little bit of shimmer. I'm not really contouring today. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Just because, I don't know, I didn't feel like I needed to. I'm not really doing much today, so like there's no reason for me to like go full glam on you guys, but I did want to give you guys a good look. So like I said, I love bronzer, and especially the days that I'm not contouring, I do use a little bit of extra bronzer. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say it's my #1 favorite bronzer just because I think it's a little too orange for me personally, but I love the formula. I think that it stays for a long time. I like it a lot, and I love the way that it's so buildable. So now the face is all bronzed. If you wanted to, you could kind of bring it right there. Sometimes when I'm wearing a lower cut shirt, I'll bring my bronzer down like that, just because right now my face doesn't perfectly match my skin, and that kind of irritates me. But normally I'll use a cream bronzer just because I feel like those stay longer and look a little bit more natural and glowy. So now I'm using a blush that is recommended by many YouTubers, but the one I have down is Tati. It is the NARS Orgasm Blush. Here's what it looks like, and I'll show you guys the inside. I actually just picked this up for this video because I know that I've tried it before, but I actually did not have one on hand. So it's been a while since I've tried it, but I'm very intrigued to try it. Now I'm just using a Glamour Dolls brush they don't really have like numbers or anything. They don't even have like a name on it. It's just like a Glamour Dolls brush for the blush. So I'm just gonna apply this to my cheeks, just right there. Oh, this is so pretty. I've literally, oh my gosh, I'm crazy, you guys. Like, I'm actually crazy. Why don't I use this more often? Like, it's so pretty. And if you want like a little bit more of a flush to the face, which normally I only like a little bit of blush, it's so funny because my mom always tells me, like, you need more blush, and like I just put on like a little tap. But I'm trying to do a little bit more for you guys, so you can put it just right there to warm up the face just a little bit more. So the highlighter recommendation I have is one from Kathleen Lights. It's the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade Highlight 01. So here is what it looks like. It's so pretty. This is one of my faves. I've used this for a long time, but here's the thing. I have a ton of highlighters, so I don't really pick this one up that much just because, I don't know, I feel like I normally want a highlighter with a little bit more oomph than this one has, but for like a natural day, this is gorgeous. So I'm just taking a little bit of this on my Crown C530 brush. You can tell I don't really know like the names of any of these brushes or like the numbers on them because I don't really normally like, oh, what brush is this? Because this is actually my first tutorial-ish video on this channel. So as you can tell, that really did lighten up the face without it being too like bam, like in your face. Like, I used a lot of product, so I think it's very natural, and I think it's almost more brightening than it is shimmery, which I think is why they can get away with calling it like a matte radiance baked powder and it being a highlighter at the same time. So I actually just remembered that I did not get an eyeliner recommendation from anyone, but I'm just going to do the Sephora Colorful Wing It liner off camera just real quick, and then I'll zoom in for you guys and do my eyeshadow. Okay, so the next product is a recommendation from Andrea Mattiliano. I love her channel. I think that she just has like, I just love her. But she loves the chocolate bar palettes, as do I. They are like my favorite palette line. I love them all. They all kind of have the same texture, consistency, lasting. Like, they all kind of work the same, but the shades in each palette are kind of different. So this is actually one of her favorites. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Bonbons palette. I love the packaging on this one. I think it is so cute. Here's what the shades look like, just like that. Here's my thing. I love all the palettes, like I said, but these are probably the shades that I use the least. Maybe the palette that like I don't use that much, but she really loves it, so I definitely wanted to give it a try. I've used it before. I use it a lot, but I just, compared to all my other palettes, this is probably one that I don't use that much. So now you're all zoomed in and we're ready to start the eyeshadow. So the first shade that I'm going to be using is Divinity. It's just that really light shade right there. This has no shimmer to it. It's just a very like white matte, like vanilla. So I'm just putting that all over the lid to kind of set down that primer and give me a nice base to work with when I put down my crease and all my other shadows. Palette smells so good, you guys. I can't even, it smells so good. Okay, so now I'm going to be using the shade Cashew Chew. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's this shade right here to kind of give like a transition-ish. I mean, the best transition shade ever or anything, but I think it is a really nice shade. It's very soft, which I think is why it's a good transition. Normally I use kind of a caramelly or a honey shade as a transition, but this is a nice one as well. Really, a lot of people get kind of like, I don't know, they feel like it has to be kind of a more orangey or browner shade as your transition, but honestly, a transition is just the shade that you need before you go into your crease. So whatever you want to make that, make it. I like something a little bit more neutral though. I never want to go in with like a blue as my transition because transitions are just kind of supposed to make everything else kind of blend and look more cohesive. So I'm finished with putting that transition in. Here's what that looks like so far. And now we're gonna put a crease in, and I'm just using a brush that looks like this. This isn't necessarily a crease brush, but this is the one I love to use. I like how tapered it is and how it kind of gives me really good blendability. So now I'm gonna be using the shade Mocha. Here's what Mocha looks like. It's just kind of that brown right there. I love Too Faced mattes. I mean, I love I love their shimmers, I love their mattes. I just love the consistency of their shadows. I think it's great. So I'm just kind of putting that right below the shade that I use as my transition, and that Cashew Chew shade. And I really like that. See, it kind of gives a little more depth. This is the one I have it on, and this is the one I don't. So if you were wanting to go for something really natural, you could honestly leave out this, like using the darker, the brown, the mocha shade. So then that way everything looks a little bit more muted. But now I'm going to use this shade Molasses Chip. That little, like, I don't even know how to describe that. Kind of like a goldish, like a brown with a goldish undertone. It's like kind of glittery. I'm going to put that down and see what that looks like, but I'm probably going to end up using some Fix Plus to kind of amplify it. So yeah, I mean, it is getting down some color. Like, it's not completely, you know, some colors just don't. Some palettes, they just kind of rely that you're going to use a setting spray or you're going to use like a really great primer. And I really hate that, because if I'm going to buy like a palette, I want it to do, you know, what I want it to do. So this isn't like terrible. Like, it's definitely getting color down, which I love. But at the same time, I do like a little bit more of an amplified look. So I am going to take some of that MAC Fix Plus. Here's what that looks like if you haven't. I don't know how you wouldn't, but it's an amazing product. I've gone through like 3 of these. Oops. I use it for everything. I use it to set my makeup. I sometimes even use it to prime my makeup. And then I just spray my brushes with it. And I'll then put it just back in the shade. And I used to worry when I first started using it, oh no, like it's going to mess up the shade in the pan, but it really doesn't. So yeah, that definitely just adds a little bit of extra oomph to the eye look. I really like that. I'm really into the word oomph. I keep saying it. Okay, so now you see how I kind of used it just right there and right there. Because now I'm going to take a lighter shade. I'm going to be taking the Satin Sheet shade to really kind of lighten this up. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put it right here, kind of in that inner corner, to kind of make this look a little bit brighter and not as dark. I mean, I like dark looks sometimes, but again, like I'm not really doing that much today, and I don't want something super intense. Glad that I've kind of rediscovered it, and now I'm definitely going to use this palette more often. Here is the final look. I'm just going to, not the final look, but the final eyeshadow look before I do mascara. So now I'm going to zoom out, do a little bit of mascara for you guys, and we'll keep moving on. The mascara I'm going to be using is Lash Paradise. Oh no, everything's falling. But this is Lash Paradise. I hear so many different YouTubers talk about this, but the ones in particular that I kind of have in my mind are, of course, Jessica Braun. She loves this. Jam Beauty, I forgot the numbers. She is like, oh my gosh, the most down-to-earth person. Like, you guys have to check her out. I will leave her channel down below. And all of these people, like, you can find so easily. Like, you can literally Google them. But her channel, I will link specifically below because she is just amazing. She's actually going to have her baby soon, and I'm very excited. But here's what this looks like. It's the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal. Just putting this on my eye, it really can amplify a look. I mean, mascara in general kind of adds to a look so much, but this mascara, like, look at that. It's so pretty. So I have found, I've used this product a few times, and I found that it does dry out super fast, which really irritates me because not only does it, you know, affect the longevity of the product, it just doesn't look nearly as good when it runs out. Like, I feel like it only lasts like a month. And for the price you're paying, yeah, you're paying like $10 or however much this is. I don't know. I know it's around that price point. But I would honestly rather pay for like a $20 mascara that's going to last me, you know, 4 or 5 months, like a little bit past that 3-month mark. So if a mascara will do that for me, I'm totally willing to pay for it instead of paying, you know, $10 every month for 5 months. Like, to me, I don't know, like, that's a better way to save your money. So now for the lip products. The first product I have is one from MAC. This is the MAC Blankety lipstick from their Amplified collection. This has been out for so long, but it's so amazing. I believe, yeah, I got this recommendation from Rosita Applebaum. She is such a great YouTuber. I feel like she just gives so many great recommendations. Here is what this shade looks like. Let me plump it up a little bit more for you. It's so pretty, you guys. It's really great for, like, I feel like all seasons, because even though we're in summer, on days that I don't want a super bright color, I really like this, and then I, of course, love this for like fall and winter. So then another recommendation for the lips is one from Buxom. It's the Buxom Full-On Lip Cream in the shade White Russian. I love the Buxom Full-On Lip Creams. I love the Buxom lip polishes. And this is one of Kathleen Light's recommendations. Of course, I've used this before. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard me talk about it. It is perfect for all seasons as well. And it smells like birthday cake, you guys. It's so nice and really does, I mean, I don't see that much of a plumping effect, but I definitely notice like my lips looking so much like, they just look fuller, and it'll really just add to the look. So that is everything in this video, all of my recommendations. I hope that you guys enjoyed this kind of different type video and found some stuff that maybe you want to try. If you did, be sure to give this video a big old thumbs up before you go. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button so that you can, you know, have fun and join the fun. I'm going to try and be putting a lot more videos out because I do have a lot more time on my hands now that I'm not in school. I'm still working and doing other things, so I'm still busy, but I just have a lot more free time. So that means more content for you guys, and that's really it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!